Are you looking for a gluten-free or vegan Thanksgiving recipe or even fall recipe? This pumpkin pie recipe could be the one. Welcome or welcome back to our simple home. Once I cut off a piece of a pumpkin, I take out all the seeds and the inner things. Then I peel the pumpkin. I need about 450 grams of pumpkin. Once I peeled the pumpkin, I cut my pumpkin pieces into chunks and put it in my kitchen machine. You just can put it in the pot. I add water so the pumpkin pieces are covered and let it cook for about 10 minutes till the pumpkin pieces are tender. I drain the water, put the pumpkin pieces back into my kitchen machine and mix it to a puree. Then I add 200 ml of coconut cream, 75 grams of coconut sugar, 75 ml of maple syrup, 30 grams of cornstarch or starch of choice, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 2.5 teaspoons of pumpkin spice. And 1 teaspoon vanilla extract. Mix it well to get a pudding-like filling. I will transfer the pumpkin filling into a bowl because I will need my kitchen machine for the crust. For the crust, I use 170 grams of almond flour, 70 grams of white rice flour, 40 grams of tapioca starch, 1/4 teaspoon of salt, 4 pitted dates, and 5 tablespoons of water. I mix it well. I see it's not sticky enough, so I add another tablespoon of water. Now it looks good. I preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. I transfer the dough onto a piece of parchment paper. I figured out that this is the easiest way to roll out the dough for the crust. For me, the only other way that I figure it's easier is to just put the dough into the pie shell and press it with your fingers onto the bottom and the sides. The dough needs to be a little bit sticky, otherwise it will crumble too much. When you want to roll it out, just put some almond flour on top and then roll it a little bit bigger than your pie shell. I put some almond flour on the bottom of the pie shell. I don't think it's necessary, but I just was a little nervous. Then I flip the pie crust over into the pie shell and try to move it in from the sides. Don't push in the middle, otherwise it will break and then everything crumbles apart. Then I flip the corners over so I have a nice ending and press it on. I made it higher than the pie dish, but I wouldn't recommend doing that. It burns easy and it gets too crunchy. I actually thought the pie crust would shrink a lot, but it didn't at all. So I really like the pie crust. I just wouldn't do the corners so high. I just would do it to the end of the pie shell, not higher. Then I try to make a nice corner, a little zigzag. I add the pie filling. Then I bake it about 30 minutes in the preheated oven. After the 30 minutes, I turn off the oven. I don't open the door. I just leave it in there 5 minutes longer. Then I open the door, but don't pull out the pie for another 5 minutes. Then I pull it out and let it cool completely. I do that so my filling doesn't break. Then I refrigerate my pie overnight. Now it's time to cut the pie. Here you can see the corners are crumbling, but otherwise the crust is really good. I love that crust, but I wouldn't make it so high anymore. And this is how the pie looks, how the filling looks. Then I add some cream. I usually don't do it that fancy, I just take it with a spoon, but I wanted to be a little fancier today, so I did it this way. The taste of the pie is very mild. It's really good and filling. I like it a lot. If you like my content, please like this video, subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and share my videos with others. I appreciate it a lot. Thank you very much.